When the enemy attacks you, it is his eyes that attacks you first. Welcome to another episode, and we're still on Appendix 5, First Contact of Islam with World Movements. We're now going to point 15. Let's go. Uh, the Persian flood of conquest did not stop with the conquest of Jerusalem. It went on to Egypt, which was also conquered and annexed to the Persian Empire in 1616. The Persian occupation reached as far as Tripoli in North Africa. Full stop. At the same time, another Persian army ravaged Asia Minor and reached right up to the gates of Constantinople. Full stop. Not only the Jews and the pagan Arabs, but the various Christian sects which had been persecuted as heretics or ascetics by Romans, joined in the fray and helped the Persians. Interesting, isn't it? Mm. The condition of Heraclius became indeed pitiable. Full stop. With all these calamities, he had to deal with the Avars who were attacking from the other side of Constantinople, which was practically in a state of siege. Full stop. Famine and pestilence added to the horrors of the situation. War is no good, my brother. War is not good. Only we don't know. Full stop. Paragraph. No, point 16. In these desperate circumstances, Heraclius conceived a brilliant plan. He knew that the Persians were weak in sea power. Oh my God. He knew that the Persians, war is not strength, it's not power, it is here. Huh? he, where is it? He knew that the Persians were weak in sea power, full stop. He used his sea power to attack them in the rear in 622, into brackets, the year of the Hijrah. In 622, he used his sea power to attack them in the rear in 622. He transported his army. I omitted the brackets. He transported his army by sea through the Aegean Sea. I don't know if it's a spelling mistake. It's not really well spelled. It looked like capital A, capital E combined. But so viewers take note. You may try to find out what it meant. Through the Aegean Sea to the bay just south of the Taurus Mountains. Taurus is spelled Taurus, no, Taurus, of the Taurus Mountains. Taurus is spelled capital Taurus, lengthened US, mountains, full stop. He fought a decisive battle with the Persians at Issus. Issus spelled capital ISSUS. Persians at Issus, in the same plain in which Alexander the Great had defeated the Persians of his day. the famous march to the sea to Syria and Egypt. Full stop. The Persians were taken by surprise and routed. Full stop. But they had still a large force in Asia Minor, which they could have brought into play against the Romans if Heraclius had not made another and and equally expected death by sea from the north. Full stop. He returned to Constantinople by sea, comma, made a treaty with the Avars, comma, and with their help kept the Persians at bay around the capital. Full stop. Then, then he led three campaigns in 623, 624, and 625 along the northern shore of the Black Sea and took the Persians again in the rear in the region around Trebizond and Kars. The region around Trebizond and Kars. Trebizond is spelled capital Trebizond and Kars Kars full stop. Pardon me. And Kars Kars full stop. Through Armenia, he penetrated into Persia and got into Mesopotamia. Full stop. He was now in a position to strike at the very heart of the Persian Empire. Full stop. A decisive battle was fought on the Tigris near the city of Mosul in December 627. Full stop. Before this battle, however, he had taken care to get the alliance of the Turks and with their help to relieve Constantinople in 626. In 626 against the Persians and the treacherous Avars who had then joined the Persians. So, point 17. Heraclius celebrated his triumph in Constantinople in March 628. Full stop. Peace was made between the two empires on the basis of this status quo. On the basis of the status quo ante. Ante is spelled Ante. Full stop. Heraclius, in pursuance of a vow he had made, went south in the autumn to Emesa, into brackets, Hemis. Emesa is spelled capital Emessa. And the bracketed Hemis is now spelled capital Himis. So let's go back. And went south in autumn to Hamisa, and from there marched on foot to Jerusalem to celebrate his victories and restore to its place cross, the holy cross which had been carried away by the Persians and was returned to the emperor as a condition of peace. Full stop. Heraclius. Now Heraclius's route was strewn with costly carpets, and And he thought that he thought that the final deliverance had come to his people and his empire. Full stop. Either on the way or either on the way or in Jerusalem, he met a messenger from the holy prophet carrying a letter inviting him to the true faith as renewed in the living messenger of the age. Age, full stop. He apparently received the messenger with courtesy, full stop. But he did not realize that he did not realize the full he did not realize the full import of the new world which was being which was being shaped according to God's plans and the future that was opening out through the new revelation. Full stop. Perhaps in his heart he felt impressed by the story which he heard from the Arabs about the holy prophet, comma, but the apparent grandeur, of the empire and the pride of his people prevented him from openly accepting the renewed message of God. It's still happening today. Pride after pride, people refuse to take the message of God. Hmm. Message of God. Full stop. He caused a search to be made for he caused a search to be made for any Arab who was sufficiently acquainted with the prophet to tell him something about him, the prophet. Full stop. Abu Sufyan was then trading. Abu Sufyan was then trading in a caravan in Syria. Abu Sufyan was the prophet's companion. Mm. I don't know, I can't tell here where is the uncle or so. Anyway, so let's go anyway. Abu Sufyan was then trading in a caravan in Syria, full stop. He was a cousin of the prophet, yes. Not the uncle, but a cousin, yes. He was a cousin of the prophet and and belonged to belonged to Umayyah branch and belonged to the Umayyah branch of the family. He was sent for to Jerusalem, mm, into brackets, Elia Capitolian, Elia Capitolina, into brackets, Elia Capitolina. Elia Capitolia is spelled capital AE capital joined together like the other uh, one before. Elia Capitolina, full stop. uh, when Abu Sufyan was called to the presence of Heraclius, the emperor questioned him closely about this new prophet. Full stop. Abu Sufyan himself was at that time outside Islam and, and really an enemy of the prophet and of his message. You imagine, that's the prophet's cousin. He didn't like prophet. He didn't like the prophet. He was an enemy. Was he going to give Heraclius the right character of the prophet? Let's go on. Yet the story he told, dash, of the truth and the sincerity of the prophet, comma, of the way in which the poor and the lowly flocked to him, comma, of the wonderful increase of his power and spiritual influence, comma, and the way in which people who had once received the light never got disillusioned or uh, went back to their life of ignorance, comma, and above all, the integrity with which he kept all his covenants. Dash made a favorite Dash made a favorable impression on the mind of Heraclius. That's wonderful. That's spiritual power. And so Abu Sufyan, the uncle didn't like him, but still gave Heraclius the right account that Heraclius needed about the prophet. So that's how the spirit works. Full stop. That story is told in dramatic detail by Bukhari and other Arabian writers. And that's point 18. Viewers, we shall break here. When we come back in our next episode, we shall go to point 19. God willing. Thank you very much. Bye bye. Au revoir. May God be with you all.